Hi, everyone. This is Ken with Ken's Insurance Agency. We're a full insurance brokerage. We're coming to you today to talk to you about life insurance. We want to also let you know we're getting geared up for open enrollment for Medicare and for the ACA/Obamacare. So if you're in the states of Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, um, and Michigan, please give us a call and schedule your appointment if you're needing health care. If you're also needing a benefits package, give us a call. We'll be glad to set up an appointment and talk to you about these things. But let's get started with life insurance. Life insurance can be broken up in between personal and commercial. Commercial has two parts. There's the commercial that's part of a benefits package, and then there's the commercial part that basically the employers benefit from more than anything. On the individual side, there's your life insurance, and then there's your retirement planning. With life insurance, it's broken up into two main categories, and then those main categories are broken up into subcategories. Let's get started with the individual side, then we'll cover the business side. I do want to tell you that any good life insurance agent, whether they're selling you a commercial plan or an individual plan, will recommend that if you got a life insurance policy or any kind of retirement planning through your work, to let them review it, but also to have stuff that's outside of your work that you got, because if you leave your job, you may not get to take that with you. So that's one thing to remember. So let's get started. The two main groups for individual, whether you're basically an actual individual or whether you're a family or a senior, is temporary and permanent. Temporary is term life insurance. Can be term life insurance for somebody that's just getting started out, doesn't have a lot of income, doesn't have the funds to really invest in a permanent life insurance policy, but wants to have a life insurance policy in case something happens. That's the first type subcategory. The second subcategory is where term is really good at is mortgage protection, which is a form of credit protection, and credit protection is the other one. And these are really meant to cover like a mortgage or a loan that you got, so that if something happens to you as the breadwinner, that basically your family's not struggling to pay the mortgage. Usually mortgage protection and credit protection is coupled with a disability plan, so that basically if you become disabled, you got money coming in to cover the mortgage or the credit or the loan. If you pass away, then the term life insurance policy pays. On the permanent side, you got whole life and universal life and guaranteed universal life and index universal life and variable life. We're going to cover each of these now. Some of these can be used as final expense. Some of them are used for retirement planning and financial planning. Whole life is a policy that's got cash value. Any permanent life policy will have cash value. It basically makes about 4% on average with the investments that it's got. And the loans are around 3% right now on the low side of the loans. So it's not a great retirement planning vehicle. Also, with whole life, you only get the death benefit when you pass away. You do not get the cash value. Some pluses to a whole life is it can be where you got a guaranteed issue whole life in case you got medical conditions. Now that is a graded policy, which means that your first year is return of premium, second year is return of premium plus a little interest, and depending on the company, you may have a third year that is return of premium plus a little bit more interest. After that, it'll pay the death benefit. There's very few exceptions where it's going to pay the death benefit in the first 3 years. It's pretty much got to be you die of an accident. So that explains that. It can be used as a final expense policy. Any final expense policy is a permanent whole life policy that's $100,000 face amount or less. The general rule for final expense is rated for around $25,000 unless they want to leave a little bit to their kids. Then you can write it for a little bit more, but $25,000 should cover the funeral unless they're going for the Rolls Royce of funerals. Another great one for final expense is guaranteed universal life. This policy earns interest. It pays the death benefit plus the cash value. So it's going to give you possibly a little bit more money. It's not guaranteed issue. It's just that it's guaranteed to cover you up to a certain age. Whole life will cover you up to 100 years old. A guaranteed universal life can cover you up to 121 years at present. That's when it will endow and pay out the cash value. Let's see here. A universal life is going to be another permanent whole life, can be used for final expense. Again, it's going to cover you usually up to about 121 years old. More writing tables so we can cover more health conditions than the whole life. Basically earns about 5% interest, maybe 6% if you're lucky. Loans are about 4%. So it's not the best of retirement planning vehicles, but it can be used for that. Variable life is very risky. It's got high fees and it's tied to the stock market. So it's one of those things that you're taking a lot of risk. You can make great money. You can lose a lot of money. If you lose enough money, the policy will lapse and you got no coverage. Can be used for a retirement vehicle. Great for anyone 39 years or younger that's got time to take risk. Once you hit about 40 years old, you want to move to more secured investments. The next is Index Universal Life. This one can make anywhere from 6% interest on average to about 13%. It's usually going to make around 6 to 8. The plus is if it's structured right, you can't lose any money because it does base off of an indice, but your money is not actually invested in the indice. Your money is invested in bonds. Same way with an indexed, fixed indexed annuity. Your money is invested in bonds. The insurance company matches what you put in with their own money and puts that money into an indice, whichever one produces the best. That's the one that you get credited the interest on, and you get credited whatever interest is earned. It's looked at from a year-to-year basis as to what the interest will be, but it's a great retirement vehicle. Loans are about 4%. You can make great money with it. So it's a great retirement vehicle, and we've even put this on juveniles and babies and stuff. So it's a great vehicle. In the retirement planning section, you got immediate annuity where you put a large lump sum in and it starts paying out the next month. You get fixed annuity, which is like a CD. Basically, you put your money in, and when you turn 65, 66, or 67, you start taking it out. And basically, you get lifetime income. Fixed indexed annuity is another great one. Again, functions a lot like the Index Universal Life policy. Gives you great retirement benefits. It's another deferred type of annuity. So it's going to basically, you put your money in, you can pay a little loan in. And then once you turn a certain age, you start taking your money out, little loan, and living on it and all. The plus to these is if they're done right, you get lifetime income with them. You can also add a lifetime income rider and an inflation rider, and these two riders have a small fee on them, but that would be about the only fees you'd really face with these types of annuities. And basically you're guaranteed lifetime income. The next type of annuity is a variable annuity. This type of annuity is heavily tied to the stock market, so it's up and down. You can lose everything in it, and it close out. So it's great for young people, 39 and younger, that's got a lot of time to take risk, but it's not great for those 40 and older. That basically their risk tolerance has dropped. The next types go basically into the working type of retirement planning, which is 401ks, IRAs, simples, which are also known as your qualified plans. We're not going to talk about 403Bs and 457s yet. That's a little different category. We'll talk about those in a second. But the 401ks, IRAs, simples, these are retirement planning that started out basically right after World War II, after Social Security got started. And these are heavily tied to the stock market, heavily feed. They don't tend to last but 7 years after you retire. And people are living a lot longer than 7 years after they retire. So they're running out of money. When they run out of money, they can't live on Social Security alone. So what are they having to do? Go back to work. They're not getting to enjoy their retirement. So these are not great retirement vehicles. They're great for you to get started out with when you're young, build up a cash value, and then when you hit your 40s, roll them over into an annuity. That's what we recommend with these. IRAs are also limited on how much you can put into the IRA every year. So that is also a downside to them. 403Bs, 457s, these are a special type of annuity for teachers. So that is something that we're looking at getting into offering. And it's basically a special type of annuity, but it will offer lifetime income. So it's a great retirement vehicle for teachers. The only other retirement vehicle, and this one is not seen much anymore, is a pension. Pensions are still used by government agencies. They're still used by possibly the railroad, but most companies have gotten out of offering a pension. Pensions offer lifetime income, but they're heavily feed. That's one thing that companies don't like. They're having to pay all these fees, and it tears them up. And it's basically where not anyone can just offer a pension. It is a more secured source of retirement income. So basically, your money's not just heavily tied to the stock market, but with all the fees that are involved, companies just don't like offering it. So it's basically become something that unless you're in the government, you don't hear about it. Let's see here. And that really covers the personal side. We covered a little bit from the work side on the retirement side. Now let's cover the life insurance side of the work side. Like we said, you got your benefits package, and which is where your retirement vehicle is going to be. You also got the employer side. On the benefits package, you'll have your same types of life insurance that can be offered. Depends on the company that you go through as to what you can offer. Some companies will pay for the life insurance for their employees, some won't, but it generally ends either at 65 or it ends when the employee leaves the company. So basically you lose your life insurance at that point. And most companies will only put like 5,000 to maybe 15,000 on you. So it's only going to just help. It's not going to really cover the funeral or anything like that. So that you need to remember. As far as on the employer side, an employer may choose to put life insurance on key employees. These are employees that basically, if they leave the company, or if they were to pass away, or if they were to get injured, the company would suffer an income from their absence. So basically, a company would put a key life insurance policy and a key disability policy on these employees, and they collect the employer collects the money and uses it to basically cover the loss of money while they're training somebody else to take that place, whether it's temporarily or permanently. The next is buyout life. This is when you have like a partnership where when one partner leaves the company, usually through death, then the other partners collect on the life insurance policy and buy out the deceased partner's shares in the company and split it among themselves. That way, the deceased partner's family can't come in and try to manhandle the company and create problems and even destroy the company. So that's really your two main types of employer-based life insurance. And there are some things that we want to show you that are very important in retirement planning, financial planning, and so forth. So let's get started with them.
Every year, millions of people face legal issues. And let's face it, lawyers are expensive. But as a IDShield member, you pay an affordable rate for an entire law firm versus high hourly legal fees. IDShield's law firms have over 20 years of experience in many areas of law. As a IDShield member, you'll have direct access to one of our dedicated law firms, so you can take proactive steps to protect your legal rights, such as having your rental agreement reviewed or your will prepared, and receiving legal guidance for things like a dispute with a neighbor or creditor. Your law firm can also write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf. When you have a legal question or issue, you can simply call your law firm and a lawyer will return your call within 8 business hours or less. They're even available 24/7 for emergency situations. And with the IDShield mobile app, you can call your law firm at the touch of a button, access legal forms, upload your speeding ticket for review, and have your will prepared. IDShield makes receiving legal assistance easy and affordable. So get the legal protection you need and deserve, and put a law firm in the palm of your hand with IDShield.
Hello from IDShield. We believe every commercial driver needs legal protection, but first things first. What is a commercial driver's legal plan, and why should you want it? Quite simply, the commercial driver's legal plan gives you access to lawyers for transportation-related issues at an affordable rate. Attorneys are, well, expensive. $250 to $500 per issue expensive. But with a commercial driver's legal plan, you get access to our commercial driver's provider law firm for about $400 a year. That's a pretty easy choice. If you've used a lawyer for issues like this before, this probably all sounds great. If not, you may be wondering, why would I even need a lawyer? It turns out that lawyers can help you with all kinds of transportation issues that you may not have even realized. Things ranging from moving and non-moving violations, DOT, Department of Transportation violations, license reinstatement, tragic accident representation, CSA consultation, and much more. Whatever transportation issue you may be facing, a lawyer will help you make the best decision for you, your spouse, and your motor vehicle record, or MVR, in the future by knowing your full legal rights. That's always a good thing. So legal protection is a smart choice. Now, why choose LegalShield? For starters, LegalShield has been in business 40 plus years and helped over 1.5 million families that trust LegalShield as their legal protection provider. LegalShield has partnered with a law firm that gives you access to lawyers who can answer your transportation legal issues when you need them. So you'll never have to worry about what lawyer to use, since we've already done the legwork for you. And you'll always get an experienced lawyer who is dedicated to helping you in the state where your legal issue occurred. Just pick up the phone and you'll be connected to a customer service representative who will take your issue, and within 5 business days, you will have a lawyer's name and number for you to be in contact with. Remember, communication with your lawyer is key, and in most cases, your lawyer can represent you in court without you having to be there. There's a waiting period of 10 days, but our lawyers can still help you, even with your transportation needs during that time, at a 25% preferred member discount. In review, legal protection is good, and LegalShield is the best. Now let's talk about your specific plan. You can enroll in LegalShield for a low monthly fee determined by the plan you choose, along with a one-time enrollment fee of $25. Special pricing is available for drivers who enroll in the plan as part of an employee group. Your membership includes help with moving and non-moving violations, DOT violations, license reinstatements, tragic accident representation, transportation law, CSA consultation, and much more. This specific plan covers you and your spouse or domestic partner in personal or commercial vehicles. With LegalShield, you're in a position of power with access to a dedicated lawyer whenever you need it. Legal plans are also available for family coverage. Just see your independent associate for more information. Protect your ability to earn a living. Become a LegalShield Commercial Driver's Legal Plan member today.
Today, I want to introduce you to our 3 small business plans that we provide at LegalShield. As a small business owner, you know how important it is to have top legal representation and access to top professionals when you're making decisions. Today, I serve as one of the presidents of LegalShield, but over 23 years ago, when I was introduced to LegalShield, I was a small business owner just like you. My wife and I, like many business owners, had spent our entire life savings to open a retail store in Ohio. And I know what it's like to put in 7 days a week, be the last one to get paid, have the stress of meeting payroll and all the legal stress that comes along with being a business owner as well. Actually, one of the very first memberships that I ever owned with LegalShield was the small business plan. So I want to take a few minutes today and help you understand the value of the small business plan, and maybe even share a few stories of how I've used the service in my own business. When you think of legal services overall, what words come to mind? And words like unresponsive, unaccountable, you just don't know who to call. And when you do find out who to call, usually they're going to be $300 to $400 per hour. With LegalShield, we simply take the worry and a lot of the expense out of accessing top legal professionals. With LegalShield, the words that come to mind are accountable, accessible, and responsive. So let me tell you a little bit about LegalShield. We've actually been around since 1972, and we currently protect over 4.6 million individuals and over 50,000 business owners all across North America. Ask yourself this question. As a business owner, have you ever had to hire or fire an employee? Have you ever had a vendor dispute? Maybe a customer dispute? Have you ever needed a letter on your behalf? Or maybe needed a contract reviewed? Have you ever worried about being sued? All of these are legal situations, and most of them, as business owners, we don't seek legal advice for. And the reason simply is this: it costs too much, and most of the time we try to handle it ourselves. I know as a business owner, we try to be the superhero. We try to be everything to everyone. But at the same time, you don't want to be your own attorney. You don't want to take these matters into your hands because they can have serious consequences. A few years ago, LegalShield actually commissioned a study to find out what the real need was for our plans among small business owners. Now, unsurprisingly, 60% of small business owners said in the last year they had experienced a significant legal event. And of those surveyed, most of them said they did not seek legal advice for one major reason: cost. But the ones that actually did seek legal advice reported spending on average $7,600 on that legal event. So it's not surprising that most small business owners don't seek legal help when they need it, simply because they know it's going to cost too much. So let's talk about how our business plans really work and help you grow and protect your business. Now, we have 3 levels of protection with LegalShield: Small Business 10, Small Business 50, and Small Business 100. So the first question for you is, how many employees do you have? If you have less than 10 employees, you qualify for any of the 3 plans. If you have more than 10 employees but fewer than 50, you qualify for a Small Business 50 or Small Business 100. And if you have more than 50 employees but less than 100, you qualify for our Small Business 100 plan. Now, the great news about our 3 plans is that whatever plan that you qualify for, you can always buy up coverage, because the higher you go, the more coverage you have for your small business. As you can see on the chart, you simply decide what coverage level is appropriate for your business. All of our plans provide access to consultation with our law firms to give you the access you need when you need it. Pick up the phone, contact your attorney, and have consultation on an unlimited number of business matters. Have letters written on your behalf, so that when you need access to an attorney to write that letter, you don't have to worry about paying hundreds of dollars for one letter. It's all covered through your monthly membership fee. Also have documents and contracts reviewed by your law firm, and even lawsuit protection if your business is named in a lawsuit. Now, to have hours for lawsuit protection, make sure you enroll in our Small Business 50 or Small Business 100. But at the same time, anything that's not covered through our membership, you always have access to our preferred member discount. So everything is covered through your plan. It's either covered 100% if you see it listed, or it's covered under the preferred member discount for any other legal matters. The bottom line is, as a small business owner, you have to make decisions every day, and some of them require legal assistance. With LegalShield, you'll know that you have the professionals in your corner so you can make the smart decision without breaking the bank. So please get together with the person that invited you today to watch this short video, get your questions answered, and I also encourage you to look at the information on our family plan and find out more about how we can also protect and empower your family.
Every year, over 10 million people have their identity stolen. Take control of your identity with IDShield. IDShield monitors your personal information, such as your social security number, credit and debit card numbers, and social media accounts. We watch across the internet, including black market websites, government databases, and court records. We even provide child monitoring and monthly credit score tracking, which you can track right on the IDShield mobile app. If any discrepancies with your identity are found, you'll receive an alert. If your identity's been stolen, a dedicated team of licensed private investigators are there at the touch of a button 24/7 to restore your identity. If identity theft happens, we'll do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity. Shield yourself and your family from identity theft and put a licensed private investigator in the palm of your hand with IDShield.
Hi, I'm Brian Carruthers.
And I'm Darnell Self.
And we're super excited to be here today to share with you information that was shared with each of us several years ago that's had such a massive impact on us and our families. So Darnell's going to start off today explaining exactly what our company does, and I'll be back in a few minutes to share with you exactly how much this is going to be able to benefit you financially. Darnell?
So let me share with you my background prior to LegalShield. I was a retail manager working at a mall here in the Washington, D.C. area. And if you're anything familiar with the retail industry, you know weekends are the most important times. And so I missed everything that happened in my personal life on the weekends, my kids' sporting events and birthday parties, family reunions. If it happened on the weekend, I missed it. So at 25 years old, I said, no way am I going to do this for the rest of my life. So I stepped out on faith to become an entrepreneur. And for 3 years, I went on a downward spiral from 2 cars to 1 car, and then I lost my last car. I really lose it. When you lose something, you don't know where to find it. I knew where to find my car. It was at Toyota Motor Corporation's parking lot. I just couldn't go pick it up. Funny today, not funny back then. Well, at 28 years old, I was introduced to Legal Shield, and it changed everything in my life. We've been stay-at-home parents for our 4 kids, and again, it's just been a real blessing for us. So today, I have an opportunity to share that information with you, but just as importantly as the opportunity is the services that we provide that really grab the heartstrings for me. You see, I realized that the best business models of today were those that disrupted existing models. You see, if you solve the biggest problems in this world for the most amount of people, you earn a lot of money. Let's look at what Uber did for the black car and taxi car industry. You see, they solved a huge problem and made billions of dollars along the way. Netflix did that for Blockbuster. You see, no longer do we have to go out and rent videos from a store. Airbnb in the accommodation and hotel industry, Amazon in the retail industry. So let me repeat. Those who solve the biggest problems for the most people make the most money. And our company is solving 2 significant problems. One, the justice system. You see, a lot of people say that it's broken, but it's not for those who make enough money to afford it. You see, the real color of justice isn't black or white, unfortunately, but it's green. We get as much justice as we can afford. And Legal Shield's leveling the legal playing field for the first time in North America. So let's talk about that problem that we're solving. You see, we give you access to a mobile app. You can actually contact a lawyer with the press of a button on your phone. And we're not just a company that's starting up today. We're a company that's been around for over 40 years, started in 1972. So we press a button and we have access to thousands of legal forms. If you say, no, I actually want to talk to a lawyer, you press a button, you actually talk to a lawyer on an unlimited amount of personal issues. That simply means that if I have a problem today, I can pick up the phone and talk to my lawyer and not have to worry about a bill showing up after that consultation. But not only will they give you consultation, they'll also write a letter or make a phone call for you if they deem that necessary. I'll never forget, I had a creditor harassing me over $92.20. And I thought to myself, well, I don't owe the $92. I'm not paying it. Well, this company said, we're going to send your name to a collection agency if you don't pay it. I said, who's your supervisor? Well, they agreed with their coworker. And so I called Legal Shield. Legal Shield says, no worries, we'll write a letter on your behalf. I never forget the letter. It says, you must cease and desist our contact with our client pursuant to the Fair Debt Collections Practice Act. Now, I wouldn't have known to say that. In fact, the letter scared me. I almost wrote myself a check for $92. My point is, I never heard from that company again, but it's the power of a lawyer writing that letter versus Darnell writing that same letter. You see, it saved me time. It saved me money. There was no stressing, no guessing. I pressed the app and talked to my lawyer. They'll also review contracts and documents for you up to 15 pages. They say the bold print giveth, but the fine print taketh away. So we have access now to lawyers who can review our documents before we sign our names to them. One of my favorite benefits of my Legal Shield membership, if I get a moving traffic violation, I get to press that button. It opens up my camera function on my phone, takes a picture of that moving traffic violation. It goes up to the law firm to tell you the best way to handle that ticket. And listen, it's great when I get a deduction from my fine, but just as importantly, I want to keep the points off of my license because we know auto insurance are already too expensive. And I can't tell you how many times my lawyers have been able to help me to get the points removed from my license. So if you drive like a teenager, you have teenage drivers in your household, this is going to be awesome for you. Another benefit with our service is you have access to a last will and testament. So I'm almost embarrassed to tell you when I joined Legal Shield, I was married with 2 children. Again, now we have 4, but I didn't have my last will and testament done. But I'm not alone, right? The average will costs $500 to $1,000 to have it prepared by a lawyer. Legal Shield takes away that excuse. We give you one just for having our service. Not only that, they'll update it each year at no additional cost. And listen, I'll never forget my uncle. My mom has 8 sisters and 1 brother. My only uncle passed a couple of years ago. He was connected to life support, but my mom and her sisters didn't have to argue back and forth on whether they thought they were doing what was best for my uncle because it was already in his living will. I've seen siblings no longer speak because there wasn't a will in place. Don't put your family through that. Make sure you take care of your last will and testament. You have access to that now. Right there through your app, you can start filling out the worksheet for your last will and testament. The part of our membership that gives my wife and I the greatest amount of peace of mind is the red button right there on your Legal Shield mobile app. It says emergency access. That's right, we give you 24-hour a day, 7-day-a-week access in emergency situations. And listen, this isn't about bad people doing worse things. We're saying bad things happen to good people too. You see, one of my sons is in college. He's a great kid, but he could be a great kid at the right party with the wrong crowd at the wrong time. And if he's being questioned, detained, or arrested, he doesn't have a right to call dad or a right to call pastor, but he has a right to call his lawyer. And he has access to that 24 hours a day. Make sure you not only take advantage of this membership, but tell the people who you love and care about that this exists. Now, if you're anything like me, it's not about how much money you make, but how much money you keep. You see, everything that we've talked about so far is already 100% covered with your membership. But anything that falls outside of that, you're going to get a 25% preferred member discount. You see, because you're a part of Legal Shield, you'll never, ever have to pay 100% for your attorney fees again. At minimum, you'll get a discount. Those are things like contested divorce. Perhaps you want to sue someone, or maybe it's bankruptcy. At minimum, you get a preferred member discount. And because you're signing up with Legal Shield today, in addition to your discount, you're also going to have access to a program we call Member Perks. That's right, 400 vendors you get to save money on now. Places you already spend money with, right? Like Best Buy for electronics. Or when I go rent a car, I took my son to college just a month ago. And guess what? I saved $102 on my rent-a-car. We went to the movies. I saved $6 per ticket. This is huge. So again, you have so many areas where you can save money. In fact, let me just tell you this. For this legal plan, we're not talking about $200 an hour for a lawyer, which would be what, thousands a month? We're talking about $24.95 a month. You have access to our service. Less than $25 a month, less than $1 a day. And guess what? I save more money than that every single month just by using my Member Perks program. So congratulations on being a Legal Shield member. You're going to save a lot of money, but more importantly, it's going to reduce your stress. If you're ever in a situation, don't ever forget, you have empowerment. Press that button right on your mobile app. So now after learning a little bit more about Legal Shield, I'm sure you would agree, for what it would normally cost to have 1 hour of a lawyer's time, we get to protect and empower you, your spouse, and your dependents for an entire year, for which you would normally pay for that same 1 hour of a lawyer's time. You've got to agree that we are truly leveling the legal playing field for the first time in North America. And that's just one of the problems that we're solving. The other major problem that we're solving is the identity theft epidemic, right? We know it's one of the fastest growing crimes in America. Most people think it's just financial, but it's bigger than just financial, right? There's tax fraud, and there's medical fraud, and there's social security fraud. And so what happens when we're a victim of identity theft? Most folks, first of all, don't even know they've been victimized. And so we actually do monitoring, again, right through an app on your phone. We'll monitor and alert you if someone accesses your information. And again, we're not just talking about financial. We're monitoring your entire digital DNA. But when someone accesses your information, where do you go from there? Well, with a tap of a button on your app, you now have access to a licensed private investigator who will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity back to pre-theft status. You see, this differentiates us from everybody else that's out there. And it's exciting to know we've got a real product that solves, again, a real problem when people are in such a need today. I know you would agree that one of the most valuable things you have is your identity. And the cost of owning an IDShield membership to protect you and your family is only $24.95. And if you're an individual, so you're not married, you don't have any dependents, it's only $9.95. So collectively, the Legal Shield plan and our IDShield plan, only $49.90 to protect your entire family. Again, about $1 a day. So that's why these two services marry so well together. If you're being pulled over for a routine traffic violation and there's a bench warrant out for your arrest for something you didn't even do, sure, you have an identity theft situation because someone did something bad in your good name, but that also can quickly turn into a legal situation. And so you want to have access to both of these services combined. Again, protect yourself for less than $1 a day. But guess what? We get to, without having experience as a lawyer or experience as a licensed private investigator, profit from these two major problems that we're solving across North America today. You see, it took me 7 years to get my bachelor's degree, so I'm certainly not a lawyer, but I get to stand as the middleman between the lawyers doing an amazing job by providing the service and our members who need access to them and our licensed private investigators, and we've been able to earn a great living by doing so. I've already told you we've been stay-at-home parents for 20 years for our 4 children. But just as importantly, we've been able to help a lot of other people do the same thing. And it's nothing like having success with other people that indirectly you've been able to empower and impact the direction of their life. The gentleman I'm about to introduce did that just for me. You see, he introduced me to Legal Shield, and my life has not been the same since. I hope by you seeing the same information that I saw when I was 28 years old will direct your life, will shift the way you see things and the way you see yourself in your future. Please help me welcome back Mr. Brian Carruthers.
Thanks, Darnell. And after hearing your presentation again, I want to sign up all over again. And now that you've heard it, I'm sure you understand why we're signing up tens of thousands of new customers every single month. Not everybody buys a Legal Shield membership, but most smart people do. I would never want my wife or my kids leaving home without these apps on their phone. So I believe Legal Shield doesn't cost us money. I think it saves us money. I got the peace of mind. I've got less stress in my life. I save a lot of money in legal fees that I never would have paid for if I had to pay full price. But the member perks, I save more money with that per month than it cost me for a Legal Shield membership. So I'm saving my way to a free legal plan every single month, and you can do the same thing. But now let's shift gears, because how do people learn about Legal Shield? It's through word of mouth. We tell people about great movies, great restaurants, we just never get paid for it. I told people about Facebook, they should go get an account. I told people about Netflix, never got paid. But guess what? Legal Shield actually allows us to become entrepreneurs. And Jim Rohn, my favorite author and business coach of all time, he said, you work hard all day at your job to earn a living, but you should be working spare time, nights or weekends, building your fortune. And so I don't know what your plan A is, your job is right now, but when I got started in Legal Shield, I was full-time in real estate. I was working 60, 70 hours a week. I call it working 8 to faint. I was doing great. I was making a great income, but I had no time freedom, and I was not happy. A lot of my friends, they had a lot of time, but they had no money, and they were unhappy. I wanted to have a happy balance of both. And when I saw the business model with Legal Shield, I said, this is a way for me to be able to change that. I could actually have time and money together. So Legal Shield basically makes it very simple to go out and share these services with other people, and the company's going to reward you financially. And you already do word of mouth marketing as it is. You probably told people about Facebook when you learned about it, or Instagram, or you referred somebody to go get an Amazon or a Netflix account. You just didn't get paid for doing the marketing for those billion-dollar companies. Well, Legal Shield's going to pay you several different ways for helping us spread the word. So the first way that Legal Shield pays us is an upfront commission for each person that we refer to become a customer. And so I'm going to give you some examples based on a $49.90 family plan combination, a family legal plan and a family IDShield $49.90. Now, be sure to check the compensation plan sheet to see what your compensation would be based on the plan that you're selling in that particular state. So on that $49.90 sale, you're earning a $60 minimum commission. And you heard it right. You sell something for $49 and you're getting paid $60. But that's just the minimum. The more people that you refer and sign up, the more you're going to get paid on subsequent sales. So for example, after you sign up just $180 in membership sales, which might be only 4 members, or just $90 in membership sales and bring in one who becomes an associate like you, now they're going to double your commission to $120 a pop. And then it goes up to $140, then $160, then $190, then $230, all the way up to $280. So every $49 referral that you make, you're earning anywhere from $60 up to $280. So I want you to stop and think right now. What would you do with an extra amount of cash coming in on a regular basis from a side Legal Shield business? Let's say you're a senior associate making $120 a pop. And let's say every Monday, you just took a few minutes or maybe an hour to market a couple memberships. 2 $49 sales each Monday. You made an extra $240 a week, an extra $1,000 a month. What would an extra $1,000 a month do for your household? Would that allow you to pay off some debt, knock out a car payment, maybe put your kids in better school. And that's just at the beginning of our compensation structure. And that's just the first way we get paid. That's the linear income. You get paid on anybody that you refer. The second way we get paid is called override income, or what I call leveraged income. See, I was very fortunate to be raised by my father, who understood and taught me a business principle that most people in this country go to their grave never even figuring out. He said, Brian, you go out and sell a house and make a bunch of money, but would you rather work hard or would you rather work smart? He said, wouldn't you rather be the real estate broker and have hundreds of agents out there selling houses for you and get a little piece of the action off each one of their sales? That's called leveraged. So in Legal Shield, you're allowed to do the same thing. Market as many memberships as you want personally, but you can also share this opportunity with others, bring them into the business. They become a part of your team. And every time they market the service to somebody, they're getting paid anywhere from 60 up to 280, like we just described. But the company's also going to compensate you an additional override on every membership that they're marketing. And that override starts off at $20. And these are cumulative, so it goes from 20 to 40 to 60 to 90, all the way up to $180. So think about this. Every time you market a membership, you're making anywhere from 60 to 280. Anytime somebody else markets a membership, you're making anywhere from 20 to 180. So you're making money when you're signing people up. You're making money when other people are signing people up. So just to demonstrate real quickly the power of leveraged income, the reason why a real estate broker wants to hire as many agents as he can to help him sell houses, the reason why you as an associate in Legal Shield want to bring on as many associates on your team as you can. And think about this. What if you assembled just a team of 30 associates who are each only marketing 5 $49 plans a month? 30 people on your team, just marketing 5 a month. As an executive director, your overrides would be over $7,500 a month in income. That's why you want to have the leveraged income working in with all the memberships that you're personally selling yourself. But what I believe is the most important way to earn money. People say, making money while you're sleeping. Well, that happens when you've got residual cash flow. What is residual income? It's when you do something one time and you get paid over and over and over and over and over again for what you did once. Like an insurance agent sells you an insurance policy for your home, for your car, whatever. They sell you a policy one time, they get a big commission up front, and then every year when it renews, that agent gets a renewal income automatically. I've got the same insurance agent over in Maryland that's got all my homes and all my cars insured with her and has so for over 20 years. The only time I ever talked to her was when I'm adding another house or adding another car. Otherwise, I never talked to her, but she earns renewal income without ever talking to me year after year after year. Well, with Legal Shield, every time you and your teammates market and place a membership with a family, you're getting a huge upfront commission. But on top of that, a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, you're also earning monthly residual income for the lifetime of those members on this membership. Now, let me tell you guys, I've been in this business now for a couple decades, over 20 years. I got started in September 1998, and I started going out and spreading the word about Legal Shield, signing people up, getting those nice upfront commissions, which were awesome. But the most amazing part of this is here we are 20 years later. I'm still getting paid residuals when people signed up in 98, 99, 2000, 2001, still getting paid residuals all these years later. I would not do anything else the rest of my life if it didn't have, number one, leverage, and number two, residual income attached. Because if 100% of your income comes from 100% of what you do, in my book, that's called scary. What happens if you get sick, can't work, want to retire, God forbid you lose your job? What would happen? Well, with Legal Shield, what's amazing about this, I started off part-time, worked it a few hours a week as much as I could, and then I started doing so well with it, I walked away from real estate, went full-time with Legal Shield. I was able to be a stay-at-home parent as well as my wife the entire time since, built our home-based business into a full-time income. But here's what's amazing about it. God forbid something happens to me. I've got a wife I love, kids that I love, and if I was in real estate, not able because I'm no longer here to go out and hustle my next house sale, what would happen to them? But because I built up a Legal Shield business of my own, I've got that residual cash flow that God forbid something happens to me, they inherit that cash flow that will take care of them forever. That's the amazing part of building your own business within Legal Shield. And here's what's really cool. We have less than 3% market penetration. It means 97 out of 100 people in America have no clue we exist. Timing could not get any better than where we sit right now. And I certainly don't want to overlook this, so I just want to mention it real briefly. We have incredible incentives that the company makes available for us. For example, we've got trips that you can earn every single year. We've got cash bonuses on a monthly basis. So you got huge commissions, incredible passive overrides, residual income that you're building up that's going to pay you for the rest of your life. And we have a lot of fun going on trips and getting cash bonuses along the way. We call it Performance Club, and we're looking forward to you being a part of that as well. So what does it cost to get started up in a Legal Shield business for yourself? It's only $99. Now, when I got started 20 years ago, it was $249. And I turned that into a life-changing business. So the best decision I've ever made. But our CEO said we need more boots on the ground. We need more people spreading the word faster about Legal Shield to empower more families and give more people peace of mind. So he said, look, it's only $99, not even the price of a tank and a half of gas. You can't even take your family out for a family of four to a dinner and movies on a Friday night for what it costs to start up your own business with Legal Shield. And we will teach you word for word, step by step, how to go out there and successfully generate a profit generating business. Now, I want you to understand that anybody who becomes an entrepreneur and starts a business, they want to know the first question they need answered is how quickly am I going to get my investment back? If you invested $300,000, which is a typical franchise, it'll take you 3 to 5 years to get into profit mode to get your investment back. So again, the only startup cost that we have to get your Legal Shield business going is $99. And then beyond that, the only ongoing business expense is only $19.95 for what we call Legal Shield Advantage. You're going to have your website to be able to go into your back office and see your commission statements, your customer reports, training, access to everything. You're also going to get an app on your phone. So that way, if you have somebody who wants to check out information and you don't feel like doing a whole presentation, you can shoot them over a link to a video that explains all of this for you. It'll track everything on the app, track everything in your back office, and all of that is provided as a part of the Legal Shield Advantage. So as a traditional business owner, you probably know that your monthly ongoing expenses could be thousands or tens of thousands of dollars, but with Legal Shield, it's virtually almost nothing. So that's why I say you have nothing to lose and all to gain by doing what Jim Rohn says that we all should be doing. You have your job that you work all day to earn your living, but you should be working spare time, nights, or weekends, building your fortune. Now you've got the best opportunity that I've ever seen in my lifetime to have a side business with virtually no downside, all upside, to be to build an entrepreneurship business from home to set you and your family up for a much more prosperous future. So I hope that you get back with the person who showed you this information, become a member, become an associate. We're going to get you paid, promoted, and help you go on to becoming a very successful Legal Shield associate and entrepreneur. Have a great day.
All right, I showed you this and I showed you the recruiting because we do recruit for this still. And we are recruiting for our insurance agency positions. But the estate planning is so important, and it's part of retirement planning. It's part of financial planning. And this webinar, 2 parts of it is retirement planning and financial planning. You get to do your estate planning so that basically everything is not done out by the laws of your state. And so that basically also you can have things set up to where the estate taxes are easily taken care of for your family. They're not having to struggle to find that money and stuff and all. So that's one part of it. The next part is we're going to talk about credit repair. We partnered with Back on Track Financial with Miss Pasha Nixon. You can call her at 800-451-0993. She'll be glad to help you restore your credit if you've already got some knocks on your credit. If you basically go and get a car and basically they're going to run several credit checks with several companies and stuff, and that can hurt you. She can get those removed and stuff. So let's take a look at what she does.
Are you tired of being denied the things you need in life due to poor credit? Back on Track Credit Repair can help you. We work with you to rebuild a strong credit file and remove inaccurate, erroneous, negative items from your credit report. Contact us today for a free consultation. Let us get your credit back on track. Leave a free vacation and our extensive rebuilding guide that will help you boost your credit score over 100 points.
That gives you a little information there. We also want to come down here and show you what she's got. Her fee is $297 to get started and $97 monthly. That includes a 90-day money-back guarantee, inquiry removal included, extensive credit report audit, rebuilding guide, increase your credit score over 100 points, one-on-one rebuilding tactic coaching, unlimited email, text, Facebook support, free month service with 5-star Facebook and Google listing review, 6 months cover on new derogatory accounts added, monthly unlimited telephone case reviews by appointment, 24/7 access to secured online credit portal, customer bonus, free vacation package to Cancun, Las Vegas, Orlando, Myrtle Beach, and many more to choose from. You can also get a referral bonus. We do not get the referral bonus by sending you there, but we would like you to let her know that Ken with Ken's Insurance Agency sent you to her so that she knows that we are sending people to her as our agreement states.
Just 3 months ago, my credit score was a very low 400s. But now, thanks to Back on Track Financial, I have finally hit the 700s. I called Back on Track and told them about all the medical bills, the evictions, collections, and charge-offs I had on my credit. And they were very compassionate and caring. Not only did they legally delete every negative item from my credit, but they worked with me step by step and guided me on how to rebuild my credit. And to prove to me how much they valued me as a customer, I even received a free vacation. Life could not get any better. A free vacation and a 750 credit score? That's great, right? Thanks to Back on Track, I finally have a home of my dreams and things are looking up. So if you know your credit is causing your life to be off track, get back on track with Back on Track Financial Services.
Hi guys, I quickly want to give you my review on something that really has changed my life. It's called Back on Track Financial Services, and it's owned by Pasha Nixon. This girl has changed my life. So I had some financial messiness and my credit score was an issue. And not only did she repair my score with 115 points, sent me on vacation. I chose Hawaii. It was amazing. The sun and the sea and the ocean, it was beautiful. And when I got back, in 60 days, she managed to bring my score up 115 points. So that's really substantial. I couldn't be happier. Thank you, Pasha, and I'm really, really thankful. And if you guys need some help with finances and your credit score, definitely contact them. They're the best in the game, and they're so sweet and caring. So I highly recommend.
So you heard two testimonials. Again, if you need business credit rebuilding or personal credit rebuilding, please give Ms. Pasha Nixon a call, 800-451-0993, or go to botcreditrepair.com and let her know that Ken sent you with Ken's Insurance Agency. Now, the other thing that's in our financial package for financial planning is a way to pay off your debts, and let's look at that.
Welcome to the most beneficial cash transformation system in the world. This is the first step in taking control of your financial future. This intuitive online system enables you to use financial strategies that the banking industry has used for decades to transform scheduled interest payments into wealth. Here you will maximize your cash flow, increase your net worth, and pay off your debt in record time. At this point, you may be asking yourself, how is this program different than every other financial tool out there? Well, simply put, most financial tools currently available tell you the same old thing, what you've done in the past. But this is where the biggest problem lies. You cannot change the past, so why dwell on it? Never before has a system existed that shows you where you are today, where you're going tomorrow, and exactly how to get there. One of the best things about this program is that it works for consumers in many different financial situations. To illustrate this, we would now like to introduce you to another homeowner example, John and Rebecca Jones. When you first log into the program, there are a few things you will find different than any other financial tool you have seen. For instance, at the top, you will see what we refer to as your financial dashboard. Just like a GPS in your car, the financial dashboard shows where you are, where you're going, and how quickly you will get to where you want to be financially. And because the program monitors your finances 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you make a wrong turn financially, the program recalculates based on your current situation to get you back on track, thus helping you to achieve your true financial potential. These financial dashlets or focus points can be changed to show you additional information, a few of which are years to pay off, interest saved, and interest remaining. Below the dashboard, you can see 4 easy navigation points on the left: action plan, budget, accounts, and reports. To the right, you can see settings, help, and log out. Let's go to our accounts tab. From here, let's select mortgages. Here we can see that John and Rebecca have a 30-year first mortgage for $200,000 at 5.25%, with a monthly payment of $1,104.41. In their creditor's loan section, we can see that John and Rebecca have an auto loan for $25,000 at 4.5%, with a payment of $466.08. A MasterCard for $5,500 at 18.49%, with a payment of $99, and a signature loan for $2,400 at 17.9%, with a payment of $139.65. All of these loans add up to $232,900, which the principal remaining dashlet shows us at the top left here. John and Rebecca also have a checking account with a balance of $500, which is also their minimum balance. This means the program will not use this $500 to pay off debt. In their savings account, they have a balance of $5,238.89 and a minimum balance of $4,530, which the program will not use. Now let's go to our budget tab. This is where you set up income and expense budgets. Here we can see that John has an income of $1,314 semi-monthly, and Rebecca has an income of $2,417 monthly, for a total monthly income of $5,045. From here, we can also review their living expenses. We see that John and Rebecca have a living expense budget of $2,850. In other words, this is what they will spend each month on gas, groceries, utilities, and so on, with $415 allocated for food, $300 for bills and utilities, broken out, and $2,135 for everything else in the month. When we add in their loan payments, we can see that their total monthly expenses come to $4,659.14. The Budget and Accounts tab is what makes up the Action Plan and is how the Action Plan is built. From these 2 sections, the program is constantly looking ahead to predict what and when bills and income are due, and from there suggest strategic funds transfers throughout our payoff time to help us achieve our financial goals. Now let's go to the Action Plan tab. The Action Plan is a dynamic snapshot of your deposits and withdrawals laid out in the order they are due. The dashboard is where the program displays the results of our actions and shows us where we are headed. Now, let's see how the Action Plan and the dashboard communicate with us. First, we will change our principal remaining dashlet to years to pay off. Here, we can see that John and Rebecca's 30-year mortgage, auto loan, signature loan, and credit card balances totaling $232,900 will all be paid off completely in only 11.9 years. Now, let's change our principal paid dashlet to interest remaining. Here we can see the interest they are scheduled to pay is cut down to $81,457 from over $225,000 that they were scheduled to pay in interest before starting on the program. This is a savings of over $143,000 that John and Rebecca will never have to pay the bank simply by following the program. Now, let's change their principal remaining dashlet to interest saved. On the left of the dashlet, we can see their potential interest savings of $143,755, and the program will track their actual savings in real time as they follow the prompts of the Action Plan. In order to show you how impactful the program is for John and Rebecca, we will log into their exact same account by opening a separate web browser to show you the before and after effects of each action we perform in their program. John is paid on commissions, and this week has not been the best week for John, so he's expecting a smaller than normal paycheck. He selects his paycheck and adjusts the amount down to what he expects to receive, $1,100, because he wants to see how much an impact that smaller check will have on his finances. Then saves it to the action plan. We can see that the interest remaining dashlet has gone from $81,457 to $81,623, which is a long-term difference of only about $166. So John's able to breathe a little easier. We can also see the funds transfer, which was scheduled to our MasterCard for $1,073, has been decreased to $859. This is because of the decrease in the expected income. The program is always looking ahead to save as much time and interest on your debts as possible, but recalculates when things change to keep you on course. Let's go ahead and update the action plan on the left side. Now, John receives his actual paycheck, and it came in even lower than what he expected. It came in at $950. John records that in his action plan by clicking Final Transaction and clicks Execute. Once John does this, we can see our interest remaining has increased from $81,623 to $81,886, a difference of about $262. This means that the reduced income will result in having to pay a little more interest on their debt long term. We can also see the funds transferred to the MasterCard and savings account have been rescheduled to the following month. Thus, we can see the program recalculates based on what has happened. Now, let's update the action plan on the left side. Now, we'll do a multiple execute and select these actions at the same time. By executing these actions, John is telling the program that they have been done in real time. We are executing our mortgage payment, signature loan, Rebecca's paycheck, our gas bill, and selecting Final Transaction. We are also going to tell the program that they spent $215 out of the food and dining budget. But we won't select Final Transaction on the food and dining budget as they are not done with groceries for the month. This will leave the food and dining budget on the action plan. Now that we've completed these items, the program shows our interest remaining has decreased from $81,886 to $80,975, which is a difference of $910.80. This difference comes from the interest paid on our signature loan of $35.80 and our first mortgage interest of $875, as we can see here. Now, let's update the action plan on the left side. John has received his second paycheck. John kicked it into gear and ended up getting a paycheck of $2,410. Now we select Final Transaction and click Execute. Notice the years to pay off have decreased from 11.9 years to 11.8, and the interest remaining has gone from $80,975 to $79,721. This is a difference of $1,254. We can also see that because his paycheck came in for a little more, the program has generated new funds transfers to execute. Let's update the action plan on the left side and execute these three transactions. We've updated our food and dining budget to Smith's Groceries, and we've selected Final Transaction. After executing these actions, notice our interest saved dashlet has gone to $7,968, showing us how much interest we've saved so far. The dashboard is showing John and Rebecca the progress they're making every step of the way. John and Rebecca then get some exciting news. Their daughter Katie is getting married. But along with this comes the cost of paying for a wedding. So John adds a new action estimating the wedding to cost around $7,500 and anticipates the wedding to be on November 30th. Once added, their years to pay off will go from 11.8 to 12.3. And we see their interest remaining has gone from $79,567 up to $86,829, which is a difference of $7,261. This means they will pay $7,261 more in interest because of the $7,500 wedding expense, which we added down here. We also see they had a funds transfer in July to their MasterCard, which has been removed due to the wedding. So again, the program always shows us the cause and effect of each action, similar to how a great financial planner would inform us. Now let's update the action plan again on the left side. Katie then informs John and Rebecca that the confirmed wedding date will actually be on June 30th, 5 months sooner than originally estimated. So John simply enters the confirmed date and saves it to the action plan. As he does so, we can see the years to payoff go up from 12.3 to 12.4, and the interest remaining has gone up from $86,829 to $87,501, which is a difference of $672. We also can see that John and Rebecca will now need to borrow $1,509 on the MasterCard to be able to pay for the wedding on June 30th. Now let's update the action plan on the left side again. Later on, John and Rebecca get the bill for Katie's wedding, and it turned out to be $12,500, far more than the $7,500 they had estimated. John and Rebecca then take a deep breath and update the cost. As we can see here, their payoff has gone up from 12.4 years to 12.8 years, and the interest remaining has increased from $87,501 to $95,508, which is a difference of over $8,000. Because of the higher than expected wedding expenses, you'll also notice that instead of having to borrow only $1,509, they're going to have to borrow $6,509 from the MasterCard to pay for the wedding, as they will not have enough cash available. Now that we've seen the comparison, let's update the left side. Now let's go to the Accounts tab. John has been approved for a visa of 8.9% with a credit limit of $8,900. Once the account is added, John clicks Save, and the dashboard will immediately show how this new visa will impact their long-term finances. We can see that their payoff time has decreased from 12.8 years to 12.7. Why? Well, let's take a look at the action plan. The action plan is now asking John and Rebecca to borrow funds for the wedding from the new visa instead of from the MasterCard. This change results in savings of over $3,100 in future interest cost. That's a big difference in our interest remaining from $95,508 down to $92,390. The program looks for every strategic advantage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All it needs to know is the accounts available, and it automatically maps out the most strategic plan to maximize your time and interest savings. Now let's update the action plan on the left side. The $3,100 in interest savings has John and Rebecca feeling pretty good, and they say, you know what? We're about to be empty nesters, and we want to travel the world a little bit. What would happen if we bought an RV? So they enter the purchase price of the RV, which is $95,000 for 120 months at 2.5% and a payment of $895. Then Rebecca says, let's do this after Katie's wedding. So they hypothetically set up the first payment to occur on July 22nd. Now remember, the program will not lie to us. It will only tell us the truth of where we are today, where we are going, and exactly what's going to happen along the way. As we can see, with the changes made, the dashboard changes to insufficient funds, which means if John and Rebecca proceed according to their plans with the RV, they will run out of money. Let's zoom in on the dashboard to take a closer look. The dashlet shows your expenses will exceed your available funds on 7/31/2017 by $756.11. Only $619.91 available in all other accounts. The interest remaining dashlet shows $35,995.69 in interest before they completely run out of money in July 2017. If we change our interest remaining dashlet to time to exceed, we see John and Rebecca will run out of available funds in 27 months. Can you imagine if John and Rebecca had bought that RV without the knowledge from this program? They could have been in some real trouble 27 months from now. So, John and Rebecca started looking at used RVs and find a similar one for $62,000. So they enter that price, and the program shows their payment as $584.47. Before adding the RV to the program, we were at 12.7 years. With the RV, our payoff goes up to 17.8 years, and the interest remaining has increased from about $92,000 to over $164,000. This is a huge difference for John and Rebecca. Buying an RV, even a used one, will cost them over $72,300 in additional interest. So, John and Rebecca start reasoning this out. Before we started using the program, we were going to pay off in 30 years, they say. And now we're down to 17.8 years, even with an RV and paying for a wedding. That's not so bad. They decide that although they love the 12.7-year payoff they had before, they are going to go ahead and buy the RV. That's what people love about this program. It helps us to achieve our dreams and do the things we love while making educated decisions that help us to get ahead at the same time. Let's update the action plan on the left side to reflect the RV loan. Now, remember, we were at 12.7 years to pay off before the RV, and now John and Rebecca would really like to get back down to that number. So John decides to see what it would look like if he took up a handyman side business he hasn't been doing for a while to see if they can get their payoff back down to 12.7 years again. John decides to plan on about $550 of income per month from the side business. So he adds that to his program, which takes him from 17.8 years down to 12.3, and from $164,752 in interest remaining down to $99,861, a savings of $64,891. In addition, they only have to borrow $4,859 from their Visa instead of $6,509, a difference of $1,650. John and Rebecca are so excited about this. The program calculates everything down to the penny, all the way out until everything is paid off. It sees exactly how much we're going to have to borrow before we borrow it, where the best place to borrow from is, along with showing us the actual cost, which helps us make educated decisions that will actually benefit us and help us to think before we act. Then, simply lays out the exact plan for us to follow. Let's update the action plan on the left side. Rebecca wants to see if they can save even more time and interest. Rebecca calls their cell phone provider and negotiates their monthly bill from $150 to $107, a decrease of $43 per month. Now, experience has taught us that most people would just find another way to spend that $43 every month, which means you really wouldn't be saving anything. But remember what the program does. It looks at every situation to maximize every penny. For some people, $43 does not seem like much, but let's see what the program can do with that $43 per month. Currently, we're at 12.3 years to pay off and $99,861 in interest remaining. After decreasing the cell phone bill, however, we're down to an even 12 years with only $97,153 in interest remaining. That seemingly insignificant $43 used strategically is going to save John and Rebecca over $2,700 of future interest. This also changed the amount that we'll need to borrow from the Visa. Instead of borrowing $4,859, we're now borrowing $4,730. John and Rebecca are really excited about what the program is doing for them. They wonder, though, if they should focus on paying off the RV before everything else. After all, they reason, it does have a pretty high monthly payment, and John would really like to have it paid off. So they come into Settings, click on Preferences, and change their program focus setting from automatic to the RV loan, which overrides the program to pay off the RV loan. Immediately, the program shows us that if they focus on paying off the RV first, their interest remaining and years to pay off will increase from 12 years to 12.3, and from $97,153 of interest remaining to $105,061. This means if they override the program and do not let the program do its job, but force it to focus on the RV loan first, they will pay in excess of an extra $7,900 of interest on their debts and take over 3 months longer to pay off. Having seen the cost of overriding the program strategies, they change the program focus back to automatic. John then says to Rebecca, what if we tell the program we want to save up $47,000 before we pay off debt, instead of the minimum balance we currently have of $4,530 in our savings account? He makes that change, and the program shows it will take 81 months or 6.75 years to build up. Their payoff time has gone up from 12 to 14.1 years, and their interest remaining has increased by over $27,000. Now they decide saving up a minimum balance of $47,000 in their savings account, which only pays them 0.5% interest, is not worth the increased interest and payoff time. So they decide against it and change it back. Now, the important thing to remember is that all of these decisions have been John and Rebecca's to make. Although the program shows them the impact of their decisions, John and Rebecca are still in control of their finances and can do whatever they like with their money. But with the help of the program, they are now making more educated decisions based on strategic calculations rather than emotions and guessing. So what has the program done for John and Rebecca? It has simplified their life and will help them save 18 years of mortgage and other debt payments and over $135,000 in interest payments. It will also help them pay for a wedding, purchase and pay off an RV. And on top of that, they're scheduled to pay off on April 15, 2027. At that point, if they continue to deposit the payments they were paying towards debt into a simple savings account, earning just 0.5% interest. At the end of 2027, they would have over $27,000 in their savings account. And by the end of the year 2045, the same time they would normally just be paying off their 30-year mortgage on their own, they could instead have over $660,000 in their savings account. This program shows you the cause and effect of virtually every financial decision you make and provides you with proven strategies to turn ordinary finances into extraordinary results. In short, it will guide you on how to reach your true financial potential. Can you imagine where you would be today if you would have known about this program like John and Rebecca 12 years ago? Does the thought debt-free and building wealth come to mind? We are confident that this program will give you a sense of renewed hope and bring relief to the seemingly never-ending financial burden for many individuals and families like John and Rebecca. To see what this program will do for you, be sure to ask about our free savings report.
Well, that covers the information I got for you. If you want to schedule an appointment with me or discuss your insurance needs, whether it be life insurance, retirement planning, the financial planning stuff that we've got, health insurance, auto, homeowners, Medicare, motorcycle, ATV, RV, roadside assistance, renters, condo, commercial, or benefits package, give me a call. I give free quotes, free policy reviews, free education, and my number is 662-912-3914. Again, that number is 662-912-3914. Also, if you're interested in becoming an agent with us, selling either one or multiple of these items mentioned today or that we've got on our Facebook page or our website or our YouTube page, give us a call at that number. Again, it's 662-912-3914. We'll be glad to help you. Also, if you're on our Facebook page, you can message us. If you're on our individual page and see this, you can also message us there, and we'll be glad to give you information and help you out. Thank you. Have a safe and happy weekend, and be careful.